All right, the content or video I'm going to show is warning. It might trigger you, so be safe or don't listen to this if you're one of these people that are triggered. All right, let's watch what we got going on here.
By Law and Crime, I'm Chris Stewart. Hey guys, real quick before we begin, if you are looking for a deal on the perfect gift, I want you to see the Meat Chef IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer. It is the secret to stress-free, flawless cooking. Whether you're a seasoned chef or someone like me, you're just starting out trying to survive, the smart thermometer can guarantee perfect results every time. So no more guessing and no more overcooking. So what you do, you insert the probe. You can see they come like this. You select your food, cooking method, and preferred doneness. Then just relax. Your app alerts you when it's time to flip, remove, or rest. Perfect food every time. From holiday turkey to prime rib, wings, brisket, and salmon. It works for ovens, grills, smoke. They say that they found video of Sneh engaging in a graphic sexual act with a black and tan canine. But in the wake of her arrest, Sneh isn't just denying it. She's offering a defense that's as bizarre as, frankly, the crime itself. Now, we've reviewed the court documents and her statements, and the details inside are as explicit as they are disturbing. So I'll give you that warning. And this is not the kind of crime that we cover all that often. This starts back in December of last year. It's with a man named Trey Metler. Now, Metler.
All right, at first glance, who does this guy look like? I thought when I first seen the video, I was like, is that Garino? Kind of looks like Garino. I don't know. I don't think it is. But it does kind of look like Garino. I could see how people were saying, is that Garino? And it does kind of look like him. All right, let's continue. And this is a very serious topic, folks. This might be the problem that's in America, and the doctors ain't smart enough to either see that it's a animal pathogenic sickness that has been transferred over to humans. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's watch a little bit more of this video.
According to a probable cause affidavit, is a registered sex offender, specifically classified as a sexually violent predator. That's based on a 2014 child molesting conviction. But that 2014 conviction was just the beginning of a long criminal record. Public court filings reveal a consistent pattern of Metler failing to comply with the requirements of the sex offender registry. We pulled the records. He was convicted for failing to register in 2022, again in 2023, and once more in early 2025. The affidavit states that in December of 2024, the Wells County Sheriff's Office in Indiana opened an investigation because Metler had allegedly failed to update his address, which is a crime for someone on that registry. In January of this year, the affidavit states a detective pulled Metler over, arrested him for that failure to register, and got a warrant to search his car. Inside, police say they found drugs, paraphernalia, and 2 cell phones. One of them, an iPhone 14 in a red case. Now, that stop led to a new set of felony charges for Metler. According to court documents, he was immediately charged not just with the failure to register, but also with possession of methamphetamine, a narcotic drug, and most critically for the investigation that would follow, possession of child pornography. The affidavit alleges the phone was a vault of child sexual abuse material containing what police describe as 69,000 images and 11,000 videos of CSAM, now accessed through apps like Telegram, Snapchat, and Kik. But in the middle of that massive, horrific collection, investigators say they started seeing photos and videos of a woman who they actually recognized, 26-year-old Cassie Sneh. The affidavit states that Sneh and Metler had an on-again, off-again relationship.
Hello, Miss Debbie Fox. We are checking out this video of a young lady that was charged, I do believe, in this gentleman with pedo photos, 69,000 C-SPAM photos, and uh, this young lady, Miss Snay, uh, I think that's what they're saying her name is, having intercourse with an animal. They both have charges of meth or drugs or whatever. You'd have to be out of your mind to do something like that. But let's listen to a little more. No, I agree with a lot of the people. Uh, yeah, when I first seen the photo of this guy, it hit me too. Is that Greeno? But it ain't Greeno.
Police say they found material that appeared to show Snay at her home in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And one video in particular, according to the detective's sworn statement, is why Cassie Snay is now sitting in an Allen County jail charged with the 2 counts of bestiality. Now, according to the affidavit, after identifying numerous photos and videos of Cassie Snay on the iPhone, the investigator reviewed them. He then provided a detailed list of evidence which forms the basis for the 2 counts of bestiality. The affidavit lists them by forensic tag. While the descriptions in the document are extremely graphic, they allege a pattern of sexual acts involving Snay and a family dog. The document states that the first incident was recorded on January 17th, 2024, and describes a video where Snay is engaged in a sexual act with a black and tan canine. But the document details many more. It alleges a series of additional videos and photos with creation dates spanning from January through October of 2024. According to the affidavit, these files depict Snay engaging in various sexual activities with the same dog, this black and tan canine that she later identified by name. The acts described include the dog performing sexual acts on her and her performing sexual acts on the dog, and sexually explicit behavior during video calls. This is not an easy.
All right, so this lady was picked up after they picked up another guy. Is my volume too loud, Debbie? They picked up this one guy. Okay, I forget his name, but you've seen the photo. Yes, I'm not going to say you guys are wrong. Yeah, it does look like Greeno, but it is not Anthony Greeno. So they pick this guy up, right? He's got a bunch of meth on him, other drugs and stuff, and he's in possession of a phone. They go through that phone, and there's over 69,000 photos of young kids, girls, women, whatever. And as they're going through the phone, they come across Miss Snay of Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is 20, 30 minutes away from here, where the great Portillo's, beef sandwiches, Italian sandwiches, and pizza places out there in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So they're going through the phone. They come across a video, they watch it. In that video, there's a woman having sex and doing things with an animal, a dog. They start researching the video. It comes to find out someone recognizes her, Miss Snay. And it goes on from there, right? They confront her about it. Now let's continue to watch. Christopher Valdez is asking, is she related to YouTuber crime thing Rick Snay? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know about that. I can't say. This channel cannot say that. That totally slipped my mind. Rick Snay from the Delphi Cave. Yeah. Well, I don't think so. I don't know. But anyways, let's continue. This is a very serious situation, folks. This is how animal diseases transfer to humans, right? This is very serious. People think, it's just, yeah. this can wipe out a whole population, right? And not to go on, it's in the Bible that it's demonic. It's not good. So let's continue.
Story to talk about. Now, the document states that, according to GPS data from one file, an alleged act took place at a Motel 6. Crucially, the affidavit states that on September 19th, 2025, the detective conducted a recorded Mirandized interview with Cassie Snee. Quoting directly from the conclusion of the affidavit, quote, during the interview, Snee admitted to committing these crimes, including making and sending these photos and videos to Mettler via cell phone. Snee admitted her canine Coda.
Now, we might want to get a hold of Greeno because Greeno might be getting harassed and people thinking that that's Greeno, because I'll be dang shit in a crowd of a corn stalk. It does. So you gotta go ahead now and you gotta get a hold of Greeno. You gotta let him know, hey, yo, dude, you watch your ass. You know, you're an asshole. I know that, and you've been charged with a lot of crap, whatever. But you also might be falsely accused or whatever, because this dude looks like you. So it's called mistaken identity. It happens all the time in America. It's happened to me. It happened to everybody. All right, let's continue. Valdez is asking all kinds of questions on this. What's in the water in Indiana? I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of this in Indiana.
And claws were the dogs in all of the videos and photos, but Coda is the only dog she engaged in sexual behavior with. Now, it further states that she admitted the acts occurred in Allen County at her mom's residence or a Motel 6. So the affidavit's case is built on this chain. A sex offender investigation leads to a phone containing a vast library of child sexual abuse material. Within it, investigators found a series, they say, of explicit videos and photos depicting Snee in sexual acts with a dog.
Now look at, this pisses me off because this is a beautiful woman. Why would she even do something that stupid for this guy? Money, probably. We know there's money behind it, and possibly drugs. But this is a beautiful woman that wrecked her life doing what some idiot meth head child pedo sex dude wanted her to do, probably for money. The root of all evil, money. Now, I have no idea. This channel has no idea if this lady is related to anybody or if that guy is related to anybody or anything. We don't know. We are covering the news, and this was just released, and we're covering it. Let me see what Debbie Fox said. I think they still have donkey shows in Mexico. Miss Fox, she's probably right. She's probably right. And then she said, back it up, bitches. Valdez says she's going to what? She's going to be on the next season of Bachelorette. I don't know. I have no idea if that's true. This is just really, we're covering the story. This is a very, very bad thing, folks. We're talking rabies, numerous diseases dogs carry, and the DNA transferred to a human could cause massive problem. These people have no clue how bad this is for America.
Finally, the document states that she
not including you pricks brought the wrath of God down on a whole state and broke his covenant. Idiots.
confessed it all in a police interview. This combination of digital evidence and a purported confession confirms the probable cause for her arrest. But that's not where this story ends. After that recorded interview, Snee began offering a very different explanation for the videos. She has spoken out publicly, claiming the acts seen in the videos were not what they appeared to be. In posted messages reviewed by Law and Crime, Snee has put forward a bizarre defense, shifting the blame entirely on to Trey Metler, claiming that she was coerced through violence. In one exchange in a Facebook comment section, she writes, quote, "I'd love to explain and show the world he beat me for this S word." When asked directly, "Are you saying he was forcing you to do that?" Snee replies, quote, "Yes, I'm Ben Gather, so much proof. I'm so sorry to everyone I ever let him hurt me into this expletive, but I'll prove my way, I promise," end quote. In another comment, she...
Who goes into Facebook and posts, "I slept with this dog because this guy..." Why? Why would you even go into a private Facebook chat or comment on a page and say that? It's just horrible. Jesus, I don't know what kind of world you left me, but I'm going to do my best to clean this country up.
He reiterates the claim of force, writing, quote, "Forced to, I got, expletive beat, and so much more." But that defense has been met with immediate and blunt skepticism, even online. One person responded directly to her claims, stating, quote, "You could have quite literally got him arrested for domestic and went to a victim's advocate if you had proof of anything. Nobody forced you to stay. Nobody forced you to mess with animals." Snee was formally charged on December 9th with 2 counts of bestiality, each classified as a level 6 felony in Indiana. According to the publicly available court docket, she was arrested on a warrant, made her initial appearance in Allen Superior Court on December 15th, and the court found probable cause to proceed with the case. At that hearing, records show the court appointed a public defender to represent her and released her from custody under a form of monitored conditional release while the case is pending. Joining us now to talk a little bit more about this case is animal advocate and journalist Paul Mueller. Thanks for being with us here on Law and Crime. I had a really tough time just reading through this case for pretty obvious reasons. You do a lot of work when it comes to animal abuse, and bestiality is it's a tough read, to say the least. It's a tough reality. I mean, how common are cases like this?
It's more common than people think. Even I, having worked with animals for a majority of my career, having advocated for animals while doing television news 30 years, you know what? I saw the cases in the beginning decades ago, and I didn't think much to them. I didn't think much of them 30 years ago because,
How common is this in the United States? Oh, it's more common than you think. Are you kidding me?
I didn't hear about them so often, but more and more, especially with people being online, we see more and more of these cases actually being reported. A lot of people don't actually believe a lot of people don't believe that bestiality is a thing. I mean, there are people being online. We see more and more of these cases actually being reported. A lot of people don't actually.
Look at this woman. Look at her. Beautiful, gorgeous. Why would you have to sleep with an animal, young lady? Well, she's probably not young, but why would you have to sleep with an animal when you could have any man you wanted? Especially, what are you doing with an idiot like that? I don't know what's wrong with this country, but once I get in there, I'm gonna do my best to clean it up.
Actually believe a lot of people don't believe that bestiality is a thing. I mean, there are so many cases that are out there that we just don't know about. I mean, I see them on social media, but they don't get the attention that this case might. Just because there's no.
Yes, Miss Kelt, I can see you in chat. You and Miss Debbie Fox. I can see both of you. I'll let you know if I don't see you guys. Then I'll go ahead and I'll let you know. All right, let's continue. It's academic, Johnny. It's an epidemic. It was for her college degree. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a minute, folks. All right, let's get back to this.
High profile, there's no child involved. It's just, and it could just be an animal advocate saying, oh, that this is happening and not necessarily have the proof. But it's a sickening and it's a shocking crime. And it's just one more crime against the animal where the animal cannot speak, cannot use their voice. And, they're just being taken advantage of.
And you look at how.
So the animal was abused. The animal can't speak for itself, right? I mean, if they brought the dog to me, I probably could have talked to him. Probably could have understood his troubles. I would have went ahead and said, you lucky SOB, you get more than me. But the problem is disease, and people don't realize how bad the disease is and how fast it will spread. Yeah, that's probably why the doctors are scratching their heads going, I didn't sign up to be a veterinarian, but I can swear that this is a veterinarian disease. Yeah. Like I said, once I get my foot in that house, we're going to clean stuff up. This ain't going to be happening no more.
Authorities found this woman. She's apparently in this on and off again relationship with a man who just sounds like a monster in and of itself, a registered sex offender who doesn't seem to be following the rules of the court. And he has allegedly 70,000 roughly files of child sex abuse material. And then it's through that they're able to find these videos showing the alleged bestiality that this woman was doing.
Once again, in my chat, I cannot say who that is. I don't think that is who we think it is. I don't think so. I know it looks a lot like somebody that they're questioning in my chat, but I can't say that is 100%. This channel will not say that these people are related to any of these people on YouTube because we can't talk about that right now. Let's continue. Miss Fox, I can see you in chat. Miss Kelt, I can also see you, but this channel is under strict guidance and is a respectable chat. You know that.
What do you make of that part of it? That was kind of through this very disturbing investigation that it opens the door. I don't know if fortunately is the word, but they're actually able to find the evidence that this was actually going on.
Once again, a case that may not have been discovered had it not been for, them getting onto his phone and seeing these images, allegedly seeing these images.
All right. I also want to question the authority. I want to know exactly what was on that phone. Whose photos were on that phone? Was that phone being used by a fake account? Did any of them photos in that phone have any connection to Delphi? Is my question. 69,000 photos or something like that, C-SPAN. These are the questions we're going to be asking the authorities.
You know, again, it's a case of bestiality. And, you know, we typically, I think as a society, kind of have a really hard time dealing with it. I mean, just to even bring it up in a conversation, when's the last time you've really talked about that, even though you cover crime, right?
Right.
It's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, don't like just put it under the radar, if you will, but it's there. And it's happening. And in a case like this, again, I think it's because of detectives wanting to get the guy because he was, you know, on the run. He didn't register as a sex offender. And it was, I think it was a good thing that they actually found this, because there we go. We can have a discussion about it like we're having right now, even though it's one of those tough discussions that nobody really wants to take part in because of the topic, because of what actually or allegedly happened.
Right. And I mean, I think of even, you know, putting this story together and, you know, we talk about anybody who's watching.
Oh, I'm sorry, Valdez. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Ain't that so bad? No, I don't want to see the footage. I want to question the authorities on, and were any of them photos of any of the girls in Delphi or any of the missing kids in Delphi or ladies or anything, or in any other surrounding areas. It sounds like this guy had a whole bunch of photos in his thing of sick stuff. And I'm going to let you guys know something else. You guys will never be good investigators or have any kind of credentials or anything, because in order to solve a case and you're an investigator, these investigators, I hate to say it, would have to look at the photos. I'm not going to lie to these American people. Yes, the authorities, the investigators, the police would have to look at these photos to find out who these kids are, or these women or animals, or what the deal is. And if you're not going to look at the victims, then you might as well not be an investigator or police, and you'll suck at everything you do, because the evidence is within the photos or the data. So let's get back to what we're doing.
Now on Law and Crime, like, you know, that we cover stories that are really tough to talk about, but this is one where it's like I found my voice like almost lowering as if I was to a whisper, because it's just so disturbing to think about. And it's disturbing on the point where we're talking about child sex abuse material involving human beings, but then also on the fact that it's the animal part of it. There's this crossover, incredibly disturbing. In your work, when it comes to animal abuse, whether it's someone physically assaulting an animal, a bestiality case like this, how often do you see that crossover between human victims, maybe a child, and then sadly, like in this case also, we have animals who are victims?
I think many of the abuse cases start out with, and the studies show this, is that it starts with that defendant being abused themselves. The studies show that people who abuse animals, it's a vicious cycle, that they have been abused and then that go ahead and abuse in their lifetime. And what is it that a person can do that, you know, they won't get caught doing? Or what can they do where what can they do where the victim can't speak up? This is a perfect opportunity, sadly, for animal abusers to get their first taste, if you will, and I don't mean to use that, but it's a first opportunity for these animal abusers to get the first taste of, can I do this? Can I go ahead? And they're not thinking, can I go ahead in this vicious abuse cycle? They're thinking, I was abused, so therefore I need to do this, and it just goes on and on and on down the line. And you think about it from animals, you know, then the next step would be people. Would be children. I mean, it's sadly, it's one step to the next. And, you know, that's the problem. That's the big problem. And, you know, in a case like this, it's great, I think, that the investigators work so hard. And I think they work so hard, like I said earlier, because of the fact that there are children involved. One of the things that we don't talk about enough is, like we said, don't talk about bestiality, and we don't necessarily talk about the abuse of animals, because oftentimes, you know, animals are viewed as property, right? Animals are viewed as property. So the fact that they can't speak out, and there are people like myself who see my Rottweiler as my four-legged daughter, right? Other people would not see it that way. It's just a dog. No, it's not just a dog. And that's why our fight is so hard.
We might have to firebomb everything. Disease spread. I hate to say it in America. This is unbelievable. But you know what? Does it shock me? No, it don't shock me, Jesus, because the Bible spoke of it. This is the things they did when Jesus was on the earth. It never went away, and it's infected America. It's horrible. It is just horrible. People think it's a joke. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it ain't funny because I know the backlash of it, the disease that can spread real fast, so fast where they don't even know what it is and they give it a new name. And a lot of people don't realize that. People, that old myth that people said, oh, dogs' mouths are cleaner than a human's. That's a lie, folks. That's a lie. That's not true. They lick their own butt and eat their own poops and stuff. It's not true. I don't know. I got 3 of them in my chat talking about, they're wondering if it was a male dog, female dog, and what breed is better to have sex with. These people are nuts. It's just nuts.
Because we have to stand up for those, those innocent beings that, can't, stand up for themselves and speak. But in this case, because he's this convicted, child sex offender, that the law needs to stand up for those children. That's the point here. The law knows that they need to stand up for those kids who were found, or the video on that phone. They need to stand up for these, for the victims of sexual abuse. Whereas with animals, it's a topic, again, that we don't talk about. So therefore, there's not necessarily the prosecution angle to it. But here, I think it is happening just because it also involves child abuse.
And it is, I mean, I feel like animal abuse, and I mean, this is the world that you often investigate. I mean, There's so many animal abuse cases, and not even just bestiality cases, just animal abuse cases that happen. You search it on Google and multiple will come up sometimes every day, it feels like.
Yes.
I was looking at your page, and we'll talk about some of the work you do in a moment, but it just seems like there's a lot of suspended sentences, a lot of plea deals, a lot of times where you would read a report like this, and we don't know what the verdict will be if she ends up being found guilty and all of that. But it seems like there's a lot of times where you just feel like the sentence is light, or it doesn't feel like justice was served. How would you assess how the legal system, when it comes to animal abuse cases, how it really applies to the animal?
All right, if you look at this lady, does she look like someone that would do that? No. She looks like someone that would be working at a gas station, a grocery store, maybe a librarian, doctor's office or something. You just wouldn't think, by looking at her, where did it go wrong? This is a beautiful woman. How does she end up doing stuff like this? I don't know. Meth? They're saying the guy had a bunch of meth on him, and plus he had charges of meth and other drugs. Sure, you'd have to be half crazy and strung out on something to do something like that. There's one thing to joke about it. I slept with a Bigfoot last night, but in guy code on the streets, that you slept with some ugly fat broad that looked like a Bigfoot. I mean, we joke around. It's what us straight men do. I mean, I'm sorry if it upsets people, but this is real. This is real animal screwing and stuff. This is, I should have knew it was true. It was just a matter of time before I made out of here, made it out from other countries where our military guys were saying, check this out. We're flying around and look at this. This guy's screwing a sheep. Ed, come on. come on, man, this is horrible, really. And I'm talking, we might have to firebomb the whole country to burn the disease up.
We have
just animal victims.
I think we have made some progress, not a lot, not as much as we should. But, you know, when there are victories, when a person is sentenced, when they get a couple of years, right? When there are victories, meaning they're not given a slap on the wrist, that is something to celebrate. A lot of people say, no, we wanted more time. You know, we wanted them to get a harsher conviction. The thing is, we have to take those victories and realize, yep, we got this case, and now we can use this case and move forward with that. We can use this, you know, as an example to say, hey, this happened here. This person was convicted for this animal crime. Let's go and move on to the next case and try and use that momentum. Sadly, that doesn't often work. I mean, because it's not, when we talk about animal abuse, we talk about law enforcement. We talk about, you know, the prosecuting, the district attorneys, and then we just talk about the animal abusers themselves, because oftentimes animal advocates, we are up against all of those people. We have the vested interest of the animal at heart. Oftentimes, law enforcement or, you know,
they have the best interest of the animal. I get that, but how about the best interest in humans, civilians? Children. How about that? How about that? I mean, I feel bad for the dog. It was getting laid more than me. But abused, I don't know. You see how dogs hump legs these days? I don't think the dog was complaining. But, you know, let's go on. I'm more worried about humans and children. Let's continue this.
Prosecuting district attorneys don't necessarily have that because they've got other bigger cases. They have bigger fish to fry, the people, right? This is how often it happens, where they've got to hand out justice. They've got to, you know, deliver justice for kids, for adults, for people. And the animals seem to always fall a couple of steps below. I think we're making strides, but we also have to think about, there are 10,000 dogs each and every year, at least, are shot and killed by law enforcement. 10,000, right? One just happened in St. Clair County, Michigan. And the thing is, the one thing that a law enforcement officer has to say, and the only thing, I was in fear for my life. That's it. I was in fear for my life. There was a very interesting story recently, and I had covered this since the beginning. His name was Teddy, and he was a senior Shih Tzu, blind and deaf, Chris, blind and deaf, and he was shot and killed by a Sturgeon, Missouri police officer. He was in fear for his life with a blind and deaf Shih Tzu, Chris. So here's the deal. The one time when viewing a dog, an animal, as property comes into play, because they sued, Teddy's dog dad and the lawyer sued the city of Sturgeon, Missouri, as well as Myron Woodson, the former officer, and they settled for $500,000. Now, no amount of money is going to bring Teddy, the dog, back. But, this is a substantial victory in the case that, they were saying you violated Teddy's dog dad's rights, the Fourth Amendment. You messed with his stuff. And the judge believed it. It has happened before where, there have been conviction or there have been settlements, Fourth Amendment, that's my dog. That's my stuff. If you want to technically say it's my stuff in the legal world, right? So you mess with my stuff, you might have to pay. And what's interesting too, Chris, is who's going to pay for that $500,000 settlement? The taxpayers, the people, because the.
All right, listen, I'm getting really upset that us taxpayers got to pay because this dog was SA'd. I'm also getting upset that us taxpayers are paying for these women to have penises put on them that are bigger than mine. I'm very upset. But we're going to continue this because I think this is horrible. This is horrible for humanity, for mankind and womankind. And this is an ongoing thing in homes, closed rooms, whatever, that these people are doing. And it's a bigger problem than they're telling you folks. It's horrible. It's just horrible.
The officer and the city who backed him up, they failed.
Yeah.
That might be a big case
like,
to look into. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't. And I think that kind of speaks to like what we're talking about with like animal victims, because, you know, certainly in those cases where there is a perhaps controversial police shooting, I mean, that is something that is on the news very regularly. But then when you talk about an animal, very similar situation, but we're talking about a dog instead of a human, it's not something that gets the type of attention, which kind of speaks to, in cases like this one, you know, involving Snee in Indiana or wherever it may be, they don't get as much attention, and maybe they don't lead to the type of changes without, you know, the headline news and pressure on a lawmaker to make sure that someone, you know, is held to the farthest end of the law. Right. Do you feel like I think of social media, and in this case, you know, Snapchat is accused of, or not being accused, but that's where some of these child sex abuse images were on, and then that leads to some of the bestiality images. And you have, you know, it seems like that's very hardcore evidence for prosecutors. I have a picture of you doing something like this. At the same time, it feels like that also, now these images are being shared. So it's not just the act, but then there's the act of perhaps bestiality being shared within the child sex abuse material. Mm-hmm. You know, that's,
now, I'm going to be honest with you. Old Greeno. Does Greeno have family? I don't know, but this dude looks a lot like Greeno. And I can honestly say that Mr. Greeno, Anthony Rene Greeno, might be having trouble and being harassed simply because he looks like this culprit. Yeah, I can see how it, yeah. Now, hey, I don't get along with Greeno or whatever, and I don't think, you know, some of the stuff he did or whatever was on the up and up or whatever. He went to jail or whatever, and he, but you know, when I say, well, he's got a, you know, doppelganger, possibly, or someone that looks like him that's causing trouble, then I would say, yeah, it's possible, because just about everybody in this chat is that Greeno. And this channel cannot say that's Greeno. I can't say that's Anthony Greeno. It might be, it might not be. I don't know. You know, I don't think it is. My opinion, I can't, that's not Greeno, but I can see how Greeno could be accused of things or something if this guy's running around committing crimes. I mean, I'm an idiot, but I'm not that dumb. I'm not going to put Mr. Greeno away for charges of, hey, he's doing this and that and this and that. Well, wait, we just caught a guy. Look at this. You know, if that ain't a doppelganger or whatever they call it, I don't know what is.
That's going around. Do you find, I guess, how do you in your work see social media play a role? On one hand, unfortunately, with the acts that are being spread, but at the same time, it seems like it can be incredibly solid evidence for a prosecutor to have in going after someone like this woman who's accused of doing this. Yeah,
well, the thing is, too, I mean, I think social media is a great tool for advocacy work. I'm not a big fan of social media, especially not going into the comment section, Chris, but, you know,
yeah.
All right. But you know what, as far as animal advocacy goes, it's our main platform to speak up. You know, more and more so these days, we're seeing more and more cases. And that is, are we seeing more and more cases because it's happening more, or are we seeing more and more cases because there are more cameras everywhere and we've got social media? Social media, we have these call to actions where we can get people involved from all around the country, all around the world. You know, I've worked on these call to actions before where we try to get justice. You know, we work to get justice for these animals. And you know, the problem is that, you know, we have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, unlike the 24-hour news cycle, like we talked about that dog in Missouri. Unlike the 24-hour news cycle, you and I both know, having covered local television news, that we do that story, we may do an update down the line. But what I found, though, in many of the cases that I've covered is that the news has also covered it, but traditionally there has been no follow-up. People love to say, oh, let's tag the news stations, right? But the thing is, sure, that's great for awareness, but that story will slowly die down. So it's in the social media realm that we keep it alive, and more animal advocates will connect, will get together, so that we can, fight together and not know about what's happening, if that makes sense.
I think of the victim in this story, sadly, I mean, this dog, and what happens in
So you're telling me you're going to bring this up and the victim is the dog? The dog is pressing charges against these people for abuse. This is unbelievable. I just can't fathom of what we are really dealing with. I'm waiting for the great Oz to open the curtains and say, look it. I'll be like, oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus, animal. You'd be better off to stick your penis in a hole in the ground than to sleep with an animal. From what the Bible said, it is just horrible. The devil had a hand in it. I can tell you that. You'd be better off drilling a hole in that tree. You'd probably be better off than, I don't know. There's some people that we've watched on these cases that sleep with dead people. That probably would have been looked better at than this, I would imagine. I don't know.
The dog story will slowly die down. So it's in the social media realm that we keep it alive, and more animal advocates will connect, will get together, so that we can, fight together and not know about what's happening, if that makes sense.
I think of the victim in this story, sadly, I mean, this dog, and what happens in these types of cases to this animal,
so
now going forward.
Yeah, and that's the saddest part. I mean, I feel bad. Of course, I feel bad for the victims, the innocent young children, right? But at the same time, the dog, she had two dogs, right? The dogs will usually land in the pound, if you'll call it, or the local shelter. They'll be used as evidence. And it's typical that the dogs will be held as evidence while the court case plays out. And once that's done, once the case has been resolved, typically then, hopefully, they'll have a forever home waiting for the animal. That's the thing. Some people say, oh, and they, in the shelter, the shelter is better than being involved in the acts that were alleged to, have taken place. But a lot of times, especially with high profile cases, the dog, whatever animal it may be, will then, by that time, by the case is over, they'll have someone lined up for their forever family, or at least for a foster, and as they try and search for the family for a really good.
This just keeps getting worse. So there's a good chance that we adopted dogs that were sexually abused by humans. I feel horrible for these dogs. I do. But it's much like buying a house. I just bought a house. Oh my God. Did you hear about the whole family that was slaughtered in the house? What? I can't no more with it. This is just too much. It's too much. I'm going to be having a meltdown soon. This is just too crazy. They tell me this stuff ain't real. It's not real. It's not real. Here, take this bottle of pills. It's not real. This ain't real. It's real.
Adopter.
And you hope that these dogs end up in just the perfect place for them after everything that, according to law enforcement, that they have been through. Paul Mueller, journalist, animal advocate. Thank you for coming on Law and Crime. You do some really important work that people can find on social media. I know you have a YouTube page, Instagram as well. Where can people find what you do?
TheRealPaulMueller.org and all the social media channels at The Real Paul Mueller, all one word. It never stops. It really never stops. And people ask me, why do you do it? Because I love standing up for these innocent victims. I really do. And I think more and more of us need to, just like people do for the victims of child sex crimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work. As always, Paul Mueller,
you.
Thanks for being with us here on Law and Crime.
Chris, good to see you.
That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law and Crime.
Look at. Here's another one. Let me show you people this. Read the title of this video here. Florida man had sex with family dog on video. On video. What kind of demonic world do you live in to be screwing animals? Now it makes sense. These things that have been washing up in the swamps out there and people going, my God, it's a mutation. I would imagine so. One of these idiots screwed a dog or a poodle or something and it had a baby and they're like, oh my God. Like Ace Ventura popping out of a rhino's ass. And they throw it in the swamp or in the ocean or whatever to get rid of it. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Bunch of sick little freaks. You need Jesus. You're going to need fire suits. We're going to have to firebomb the whole country. It's diseased. Let's watch this one more time. Let's get a look at this guy's face. There he is. I'm not going to say anything more. I have no idea who it is. A lot of people in my chat questioning, that looks like, no, I don't think it's him, but I can see how he's been blamed for things possibly, or people are saying he might be related to maybe twins. I don't know. The Bible said things come in twos, evil. Maybe, I don't know. So this guy gets picked up. Let's start from the beginning. He gets picked up with a bunch of meth, bunch of crap, whatever.
In Indiana has led police to a separate stomach-turning discovery. Video evidence allegedly showing a woman committing bestiality with a family dog. 26-year-old Cassie Snee now faces felony charges of bestiality, according to a probable cause affidavit obtained by Law and Crime. The shocking allegations emerged from the phone of a convicted child molester, where detectives were sorting through 69,000 images and 11,000 videos of child sexual abuse.
69,000 images and how many videos? Were any of this connected to Delphi or Keegan Klein or any of them? We know this much. A couple of these YouTubers said their devices got taken from them. This is just horrible.
abuse material, and they say that they found video of Snee engaging in a graphic sexual act with a black and tan canine. But in the wake of her arrest, Snee isn't just denying it. She's offering a defense that's as bizarre as, frankly, the crime itself. Now, we've reviewed the court documents and her statements, and the details inside are as explicit as they are disturbing. So I'll give you that warning. And this is not the kind of crime that we cover all that often. This starts back in December of last year. It's with a man named Trey Metler. Now, Metler, according to
Trey Metler is this guy's name. Hello, Miss ATS News. How you doing tonight? This is some breaking stuff. One of my great mods sent to me, and we're just going over it. It's disgusting. It's unhuman. It's demonic. And I will not stand for this in our country.
a probable cause affidavit is a registered sex offender, specifically classified as a sexually violent predator. That's based on a 2014 child molesting conviction. But that 2014 conviction was just the beginning of a long criminal record. Public court filings reveal a consistent pattern of Metler failing to comply with the requirements of the sex offender registry. We pulled the records. He was convicted for failing to register in 2022, again in 2023, and once more in early 2025. The affidavit states that in December of 2024, the Wells County Sheriff's Office in Indiana opened an investigation because Metler had allegedly failed to update his address, which is a crime for someone on that registry. In January of this year, the affidavit states a detective pulled Metler over, arrested him for that failure to register, and got a warrant to search his car. Inside, police say they found drugs, paraphernalia, and 2 cell phones. One of them, an iPhone 14 in a red case. Now, that stop led to a new set of felony charges for Metler. According to court documents, he was immediately charged not just with the failure to register, but also with possession of methamphetamine, a narcotic drug, and most critically for the investigation that would follow, possession of child pornography. The affidavit alleges the phone was a vault of child sexual abuse material containing what police describe as 69,000 images and 11,000 videos of CSAM, now accessed through apps like Telegram, Snapchat, and Kik. But in the middle of that massive, horrific collection, investigators say they started seeing photos and videos of a woman who they actually recognized, 26-year-old Cassie Snee. The affidavit states that Snee and Metler had an on-again, off-again relationship. Police say they found material that appeared to show Snee at her home in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And one video in particular, according to the detective's sworn statement, is why Cassie Snee is now sitting in an Allen County jail charged with 2.
Well, you got to look at a lot of stuff. This ring, this pedo thing, this sick bestiality thing might be used through Snapchat and other apps and stuff that they're using. And Miss Kelt said, guy, someone the height of the chick is related to Snee. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Let's see what else is being said in chat. Did the guy know KK? Keegan Klein, yeah, I asked. That's what I said. I wanted to know is if this any of this data comes back to Anthony Schott's account or any of these guys in the Delphi thing. Very interesting. Well, we always knew it was bigger than what it was. You know, people wanted to take Keegan Klein off of the table, not this channel. All right, let's see what else we got. She got methed up. Well, she had to be methed up. She was a beautiful woman. I mean, did you see the photos of her? Beautiful. She would had to have been doing this for money or meth to supply her habit or something. No clinically insane, beautiful woman like that is going to do something like that. Not unless they're crazy.
counts of bestiality. Now, according to the affidavit, after identifying numerous photos and videos of Cassie Snee on the iPhone, the investigator reviewed them. He then provided a detailed list of evidence which forms the basis for the 2 counts of bestiality. The affidavit lists them by forensic tag. While the descriptions in the document are extremely graphic, they allege a pattern of sexual acts involving Snee and a family dog. The document states that the first incident was recorded on January 17th, 2024, and describes a video where Snee is engaged in a sexual act with a black and tan canine. But the document details many more. It alleges a series of additional videos and photos with creation dates spanning from January through October of 2024. According to the affidavit, these files depict Snee engaging in various sexual activities with the same dog, this black and tan canine that she later identified by name. The acts described include the dog performing sexual acts on her and her performing sexual acts on the dog, and sexually explicit behavior during video calls.
I just ate. No, I'm about ready to throw up. I agree with you there. Celt had to be methed up, or this guy must have had some kind of control over her, because no sane woman that good looking has to sleep with an animal, not unless she was getting tons of money or tons of meth or whatever. And even then, I think it's wrong. It's demonic. It's everything against what the Lord says. Even if they came to me and said, Mr. Kramer, none of it's real, but these people are still sleeping with animals, that's real. But the whole Bible, all this stuff, you're crazy, it's not real. Then I would say, yeah, okay. Well, this is a problem, because this is why humanity is dying, is because you got these people out here having sex with animals. Then they sleep with a man and the disease spreads like wildfire. Then that man goes and sleeps with a woman, or goes home to his kids, or the woman goes home to the kid, and boom, the whole thing spreads. I can't deal with these idiots anymore. I just can't deal with this world, Lord. I can't deal with this. This is sick. This is probably worse than this alchemethia, where these people are sleeping with people in the morgues, dead people. This is just, what kind of world is this, Lord? I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Disability, but this is crazy. This is just crazy. There ain't enough money in the world to do something like that. They can come here with Brink trucks. We'll give you this much if you do that. Are you effing nuts? Get out of here. Keep your money.
Is not an easy story to talk about. Now, the document states that, according to GPS data from one file, an alleged act took place at a Motel 6. Crucially, the affidavit states that on September 19th, 2025, the detective conducted a recorded Mirandized interview with Cassie Snee. Quoting directly from the conclusion of the affidavit, quote, during the interview, Snee admitted to committing these crimes, including making and sending these photos and videos to Metler via cell phone. Snee admitted her canine Coda and Claws were the dogs in all of the videos and photos, but Coda is the only dog she engaged in sexual behavior with. Now, it further states that she admitted the acts occurred in Allen County at her mom's residence or a Motel 6. So the affidavit's case is built on this chain. A sex offender investigation leads to a phone containing a vast library of child sexual abuse material. Within it, investigators found a series, they say, of explicit videos and photos depicting Snee in sexual acts with a dog. Finally, the document states that she confessed it.
Did you hear what he said? A effing series, like it was an effing TV program. I can't cover no more of this. Is there any questions in chat? Anybody? I don't even want to read my chat because they're sick. They need medication. Some of the stuff they were saying, I'm not going to lie, it's funny. Some of the stuff I'm looking at, I'm going, oh, this is very disturbing. This is disturbing. You know, I think Valdez is the leader of this madness because as soon as he came in talking stuff, I had to time him out right away. Right. And then he's, you know, we've seen this in the Delphi case. We've seen this in the other cases where we said we are not believing nothing that these people say unless we can see the crime scene photos. And they all turned it around like these people that were legitimate people were sickos. And I'm like, if you folks cannot see the evidence, then don't believe a dang thing these people are saying. Because the evidence is in the crime scene, is in the photos, in the phone, in the data. And if you're not able to see that, then it's bull crap, and it's worse than what they're telling you folks. All right, so I don't. Do we need to watch any more of this? Do we need to watch any more of this? Is my question. I would like to question the authorities on were any of these photos linked to any of the people, the 33 or whatever it was, or 28 women down there in Delphi and surrounding areas. 69,000 photos that dude had in his phone, 11,000 videos of sick stuff going on, and a small series of videos that this young lady here, beautiful. Why would this lady do something like that? Look at a gorgeous woman. I don't know. I have no idea. I am going to say that the people in my chat probably should get some kind of a mental health because some of their comments are funny and disturbing at the same time. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to do my best. If I get voted for president, I'm going to do my best to clean this crap up. This is shit that my military buddies talked about that was going on in what? Third world countries. Where we went and saved their lives in their country and then gave them billions. I think we spent 50 million in rubbers to spread out in Desert Storm. Why? Well, because our boys were on maneuvers watching these idiots, and they were, screwing goats and stuff on. This is just sick. I can't deal with it no more, America. Jesus, take the wheel. In Jesus' name. I don't know all kinds of scripture, but this is one of them things where you ask Jesus to take the wheel. Has anyone else got any other questions, Miss Fox? Anyone? So are they drugging these dogs? Well, I guess they're taking the dogs to shelters. They're trying to help the dog's psychology. And then they find people to take these dogs to their house and adopt them and show them love. So this is costing us big money. This is costing the American people, our taxpayers, big money. Big money. Let me see what else is going on. Miss Couch says, any Johnny lovers us? Johnny loves who? I don't know what to love anymore. I'm about ready. I've been watching so much of this sick stuff. I'm going, I can't believe we're even alive still. And our country hasn't been just disastered with disease. Wash your hands, folks. Wash your hands. And I hope this lady took a shower. I hope this lady disinfected herself and her coochie after she was done doing this stuff. And her lips. What beautiful lips. What beautiful lips. Look at the lips on this lady. This is a beautiful woman forced into bestiality. I don't know which one of you idiots are ruining it, but you're wrecking our women. And there's not, you can mess with a lot of stuff. You start messing with America's vagina, and you folks got troubles coming. A lot of troubles coming. Crazy. Anyways, forgive me for talking like an idiot, but this is disturbing, folks. Disturbing. Whether it be in the Bible or not, this is something that should not be done. This is why humanity was killed. I don't know how many times. Dwindled down to nothing. You want to repopulate. We got Elon Musk on here telling us we got a problem. We're heading towards China where they just ain't, you ain't going to have enough population. It's just going to, yeah, I can see now, Elon, what you're talking about. And then throw in the disease. Like I told you, when you got military guys coming back and saying, you're not going to believe what I say. What? This is, they screw animals over. We didn't nuke them. Nah, we can't. What are we going to do? Well, we spent like $50 million in condoms. We airdropped all over the place. We hope it works. We hope it works. Yeah, I hope so too. Miss Kelk, I would rather these people be eating dogs and cats than screwing them and then going out and screwing the humans, and then you got a disease all over. You got doctors and stuff scratching their heads in the hospitals going, I don't know, what is this? I can't understand. Yeah, I can see why. The doctors, how they are. They'll look at it. Oh, it's just a rash. What? It's just rash. You'll be all right. Here, take this cortisone. Call me in 4 days if it don't clear up. Yeah. I can see how this is just spread. Yeah. Unreal. Sweet Jesus. Unreal. Let alone disease that could be transferred from just petting an animal, from just letting an animal lick on you all, and this is just unreal. I can't live in this, but this is crazy. This is just completely crazy, Lord. Change this world. In Jesus' name, amen. What is the age of the consent for canines? I have no, oh my God. Debbie, can you talk to Chad? And this is gone way too far in this country. Lord, I can't judge these people because we're not to judge, but they ain't right. They ain't right. They ain't right. Poor lady too. Beautiful woman. That's some idiot. I don't know how. She had to be getting money or drugs. Something. You just don't do this because your boyfriend says screw a dog. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. But this guy might have used psychologic on her. You know, if you really love me, you sleep with your German Shepherd. You know, it's possible. It's very possible. Maybe he did beat her. If you don't do this, I'll beat you. Whatever. She still could have went to the police. Like, I don't know how long I'm gonna live on this earth, Lord. I really don't know how long, Lord, because these people have gone crazy, Lord. Well, any of you women out there, stop doing this if you are into this. You're beautiful ladies, and we'll find you someone after we get you checked out and make sure you've dewormed. And we'll find you love with a good man that would love to have a woman that beautiful at home each night. Uh, there is life after bestiality. We just might have to get you dewormed in some shots, but you'll be all right. I'm hoping. I don't know what else to say. It's just gone too far. Yeah, I would say so. Stay pretty far away from me. I would say so. That'd probably be your best bet. That'd be your best bet. You know? If it ain't this, it's the witchery and sorcery. You know? It's just, it's fables and a bunch of crap that people believe in. To me, it's just an excuse. It's just an excuse. I screwed 6 dogs tonight. You know, these people are saying. Uh, but I did it because my religion or whatever, or the devil told me to or whatever. You know, it's just crazy. I had, oh, wait. I timed out the wrong person. Hold on a minute, Kelt. Where is that little sucker? There he is. Kelt, I'll get you right out. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second, Kelt. I got someone in my lockup, Debbie. Rick Snake. I'll tell you what, these people in my lockup are so crazy. They all spell like sentences and stuff like zodiac shit or whatever. I'm not seeing her in my lockup, Debbie. I'm not seeing your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try and reconnect. What did I do? Yeah, I did it by mistake. I was shooting for Paige Turner, but came up on yours. But I didn't see her in my lockup. That's interesting. I just see a Rick Snado. Debbie, was just playing around. Yeah, but why didn't I see I Am Celt when I went in my lockup to see if you were in there? That's my question, because I didn't see you in there. I looked. Let the chat get like the Wild West. I don't know about that. All right, do we need to watch any more of this madness? Once again, this channel is saying that that's not Anthony Greeno. And we're also saying that I have no idea if this little lady here in this is related to anyone on YouTube. Uh, I don't think it, I don't know. I can't say it is. And we're not going to say it is on this channel. Where's Bendejo? Yeah, he's somewhere around there. They all changed their names and everything. They all changed their names in my lockup. I probably got about 30 people in it. No, we don't need the Wild West. In my chat, we don't need that. We don't want no magic put on us or no voodoo or any of this. Any of this crap. I didn't have you banned for about a year. I don't know. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. This is horrible. So, how many sexual abused dogs are in families' houses now? That's my question. Well, it's been a while since I played guitar. I feel like somebody stole my guitar while I gently wept. Steal my guitar, gently weeps. I ain't freeing Bendejo. I'm holding them for Homeland Security. And ICE. Let's burn this into your people's brains.
All in a police interview. This combination of digital evidence and a purported confession confirms the probable cause for her arrest. But that's not where this story ends. After that recorded interview, Snee began offering a very different explanation for the videos. She has spoken out publicly, claiming the acts seen in the videos were not what they appeared to be. In posts and messages reviewed by Law and Crime, Snee has put forward a bizarre defense, shifting the blame entirely on to Trey Metler, claiming that she was coerced through violence. In one exchange in a Facebook comment section, she writes, quote, "I'd love to explain and show the world he beat me for this S word." When asked directly, "Are you saying he was forcing you to do that?" Snee replies, quote, "Yes, I'm Ben Gather, so much proof. I'm so sorry to everyone I ever let him hurt me into this expletive, but I'll prove my way, I promise," end quote. In another comment, she reiterates the claim of force, writing, quote, "Forced to, I got expletive beat, and so much more." But that defense has been met with immediate and blunt skepticism, even online. One person responded directly to her claims, stating, quote, "You could have quite literally got him arrested for domestic and went to a victim's advocate if you had proof of anything. Nobody forced you to stay. Nobody forced you to mess with animals." Snee was formally charged on December 9th with 2 counts of bestiality, each classified as a level 6 felony in Indiana. According to the publicly available court docket, she was arrested on a warrant, made her initial appearance in Allen Superior Court on December 15th, and the court found probable cause to proceed with the case. At that hearing, records show the court appointed a public defender to represent her and released her from custody under a form of monitored conditional release while the case is pending. Join us now to talk a little bit more about.
Now, let me explain something to you people out there. Now, let's just say these people were having sex with animals and they come down with animal diseases, and now they might be in the food industry, and they're fingering your food, and they're fingering your food, and they're fingering your food all day long. And now while this little lady or man, whoever's, whatever gender, sleeping with these animals, well, now that disease is spread. Why? Because they're fingering your food. They're fingering your food. They're fingering your food all day long. And then sneezing, coughing. I don't think you want me in that White House. I'm just saying, Debbie. I'm just saying. These people think that it's impossible to catch a disease from food or someone serving you food, and it's a lie. You've been lied to your whole lives. She's sick, nose sniffling, the sickness and everything, spots all over her, scratching her, touching her. And then she's got to go to work, even if she's touching money at the bank, even if she's working at an office, touching papers, and it's just, she might be working at a food place, or this man or whatever might be working at a food place, just fingering your food, fingering your food, fingering your food all day. Sneezing, coughing, boom, pandemic. I'm sorry I had to be so rude with explaining it, but these people have no idea what a pathogenic disease can do. And then you really want to destroy a country, you throw in a bunch of doctors that don't know what the hell they're doing. And it's sun rash, when really it's a form of rabies. And they, next thing you know, you got people going effing crazy everywhere, barking at them, you know, dang cops standing around don't know if they should call a ambulance or a dog kennel to have come pick these people up. Debbie, quit fingering in my chat, will you? I was giving an example of how diseases can spread. Yeah, I can't believe that this shit was even on Facebook. You know, I can give two craps about a man and a woman sharing naked photos between each other, but when you start throwing dogs and stuff, jerking off dogs and stuff, I would think Facebook would have said, "Oh, I think we need to block this person." ATS left. She's in the bathroom vomiting right now. I can't come to your chat. Nah, it's all right. It takes a tough cookie to watch this stuff. If you're not an investigator, you don't have what it takes, Miss ATS News, to be an investigator. Wipe the vomit off of your mouth, put your glasses on. Buckle up, Buttercup. No, this is the shit you got to look at. Being a real police officer or a real investigator. People don't realize it. These idiots that are telling you folks you're a sicko if you want to see the crime scene photos, them are the dudes that don't want you to see the crime scene photos because the evidence is in the crime scene photos. Oh, I gotta go. Debbie Fox, will you quit it, little lady? She's cracking at me. Miss Kel, cut it out. Cut it out, Miss Kel. You ladies behave yourself. I didn't think these ladies had that kind of stuff in them, but boy, they were really getting into that stuff and they're cracking jokes. You shouldn't hate anybody, Paige Turner. If you're going to hate anybody, hate the devil. Jesus' name, amen. No, don't go, Kel. Miss Kel, save the full. No, Miss Kel, save the full gross stuff for someone else's chat. Hey, you've done enough today in here. I'm hoping Miss Debbie and Miss ATS News bring some sanity back to the chat. Oh my God, what a world we live in. It's no wonder I sit around and build stuff to try and protect myself from the world. Working on a Nikolai Tesla coil here. Keep an electric force field around me from you crazies. Well, I can tell you what, Paige Turner, even if they tell me it ain't real, I'm still getting rid of this stuff on Earth. Even if the Congress and Senate passed a law stating it's okay to have sex with animals, we're still getting rid of this in America. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. If you people start thinking that it's okay to have sex with animals, uh, you have no longer become human. This, I can tell you what's wrong with this little lady that we are seeing in the video we just showed. She was not treated properly by a man. She wasn't loved properly by a man. That's her problem. That's her problem. She was properly not treated like a woman. Well, we all go to heaven from what the good book says. It just might take a couple of us a little bit longer, but in the end, we all get there. And the devil is conquered. But I can tell you this much: the devil definitely had a hand in this case. And anyone that don't think that that's just evil or demonic or not right, I think you people are not right in the head. And you need more than medication. You need a lot of medication. And you need time to yourself, and you need time with Jesus. Amen. Kel, Debbie, ATS News, Valdez, Paige Turner, what would you say? Yay or nay for passing a law for these people to have sex in America with animals? I can tell you what, I'll be the first one to say nay. I vote no. And I don't see anybody else commenting no in chat. So you know where I stand, folks. Lord, I'm not judging them, but it ain't right what they're doing. Amen. Ain't my job to judge them. It's the Lord's job. I'm just here to testify that this is the works of the devil. It is the works of the devil. Drug induced, money induced, abuse. Is it possible she's telling the truth and was beaten if she didn't do this? Yeah, it's possible. But as soon as she was able to break away from it and the guy left to go work or do whatever, she had a choice to run to somebody, to her dad, the police, someone. This guy's beating me and making me have sex with animals. That never happened. So what are we dealing with? I don't know. Demonic? Well, we go by the good book. Mental health? Well, yeah, you'd have to be crazy to do that. There ain't no amount of money, folks. There ain't no amount of money. And I imagine that's how these people got coerced into it. Drugs, money, manipulation, MK Ultra, whatever. You know, they're all making money on it. Photos being sold, whatever. Videos, money. It's disgusting. Debbie Fox is the one that she typed no. She said HE double toothpicks. No. Miss Paige Turner, don't talk to Debbie Fox that way. She can say that if she wants. Jesus forgive her. In Jesus' name, forgive all these people. Definitely Bendejo, Paige Turner, and the rest of them. You start letting people do this, folks, and it's the end of humanity. Mankind. If Jesus is alive, you broke the covenant. Gypsy Rose, Demented, live tomorrow night. Gypsy Rose. Very interesting. Tomorrow night on Miss ATS News. What is tomorrow night? Ain't there another holiday coming up? Yeah, I think the holiday goes through this whole weekend. Ain't you that you're like family members or something? I thought it was called off this whole week. No, tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Miss ATS News channel. Gypsy Rose, Demented Video. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard, Mountain Pacific time. That's ATS News channel, Mountain Pacific, Central Mountain Time, 8 o'clock. Is it at 8 o'clock, Miss ATS News? I like you. I mean, I know you like to have people show up early to your chats and everything. Just let me know what time. I'll plug your show. Oh, God, save me. In Jesus' name. I can't deal with it no more. You know what I need? I need a spa day. Yeah. Just me, a woman, and a spa. I don't know what a spa is. I've never been in one. But yeah, what time ATS News? I'm sorry, Mrs. ATS News. Do you have your glasses on, Miss ATS News? Because I want you to look at something. I want you to tell me your honest opinion. I want your honest opinion of what you think this person looks like. I'll give you time to go get your glasses. I want your opinion. Who does that look like? We also want to question the authorities on if any of these photos in this guy's phones were connected to the Summer Wells case. That's what I said when I first was notified about it. I was like, oh, well, look at this. This might be our culprit in many things. Of course, you got to run this guy's DNA through C-SPAN or that computer that the government's got. Cadence. This ATS News says, "Oh my God, Greeno." Well, I'm not saying that. This happened in 22. It does look like him, but I don't think that's him. And this could be a problem for Mr. Anthony Greeno. No, this could be a problem for Anthony Greeno. Fake identification or misidentification. We have to find out if this guy had any connections, any phones to Keegan Klein. Any connections with Chadwell. He even looks like Chadwell a little bit. Miss ATS News says, "Oh dear." Miss Kelt said, "Miss ATS News." And the chick's name is Snay. This shit is, this is close encounters of the third effing kind. Doppelgangers that everyone talks about.
On again, off again relationship. Police say they found material that appeared to show Snay at her home in Fort Wayne, Indiana. In one video in particular, according to the detective's sworn statement, is why Cassie Snay is now sitting in an Allen County jail charged with 2 counts of bestiality. Now, according to the affidavit, after identifying numerous photos and videos of Cassie Snay on the iPhone, the investigator reviewed them. He then provided a detailed list of evidence which forms the basis for the 2 counts of bestiality. The affidavit lists them by forensic tag, while the descriptions in the document are
No, I don't know. She looks kind of sick to me with the eyes all. Excuse me. I don't know. This has just gone too far. Page Turner. Listen, I'm not gay. I don't have any questions like that. We all know the sexiest man ever on earth was Elvis. Other than that, I have no idea. I don't judge men. I don't float on the Fruit Loop boat. So I have no idea. I'm going to have to go ahead and I'm gonna have to put you in lockup again or something, or time out. Put you in time out. We'll give him a couple minutes. I'm sorry, you folks had to hear that. It's just a trouble. No, you'll survive. Don't worry about it. That lockup tank, I run it pretty clean. I got rules in there: no raping men on men, no women raping women on men, or anything like that. You'll be safe. I don't know what you'll be doing. You'll be doing chores in there or something, cooking or something. I am old. Debbie, you're nice. But now a T Rex is like old, right? I'm not that old. I'm in my 50s. I don't look like I used to, but is T Rex like old? Is that like, oh, you're like a dinosaur, Johnny? You're old. You're old news. Or is it like, my God, you're a dinosaur. You have a dinosaur between your legs. It's unbelievable. Just let me know which one. Now I'm feeling old. Miss ATS News, do you need? She's crying. Wait, Kelt is saying she's crying. She's worried about her BF. I mean, dog. Well, she's probably crying because her whole world has gone down the tubes. This was a beautiful woman that should have been treated like a woman. Uh, and any signs of a man dating her, and she's like watching bestiality flicks, I would have been like, yeah, it's over, sweetie. I'm really sorry. Uh, you know, I would have been out of there right away. But this is a bigger problem than they're letting you folks know. It's like the pedo rings, right? It's a lot worse than what you folks will ever know. Let me see what else going on and what's going on in chat. Let me move this thing, camera tripod. All right, now I can see chat. I had the dang tripod in the way. All right, so I'm looking at a picture of the nightclub fire in Switzerland, and all these young people are filming it. The freaking place is on fire, and these morons are filming it. Yeah, we did a couple videos today on the Switzerland nightclub fire, from the reports that we got, there was actually people inside the venue with fireworks, sparklers, and champagne bottles where they had the sparklers inside. Uh, and there was witnesses that said some woman was on a table and they were holding the bottle up too close to the ceiling, and woof. We also had reports that there was fireworks going off outside in front of the building as the building was already on fire. So whether the fireworks started it or the people inside with the sparklers, it's horrible what happened. It's another station. Uh, Bad result. Bad stuff. Right? It was a venue that only held 300 people, but they're saying that there was more people in the Switzerland uh, bar than the capacity that it should have held. So you're always asking for trouble when you're overpacked, undermanned. you got problems then. When you're undermanned and you got a lot more people than what should be in there, there's problems. Valdez says Great White was playing in Switzerland. No, they weren't. They were not. I don't even think Great White is around anymore. I think Jack passed away. Yeah, it's called The Station, Kelp. Look it up on YouTube. The Station Fire, Great White. That was also horrible. It was horrible. But that was an accident waiting to happen. The exits that they did have were blocked. And the exits that they did have open uh, uh, was reserved for the band. And there was only one way out of there, and that was the front door. And that's where the problem started. No, I don't think so. I don't know if she's related to anybody. We know this. She lived in Fort Wayne or down south. Or the guy lived in Fort Wayne or whatever. I don't think she was married. That's her maiden name. I don't think she was married. Oh, and it didn't help that the station that Great White played in had foam all over the ceilings that was flammable. Literally, the laws were already being broken before Great White played there because the foam insulation that they had was a hazard. Plus, it was overpacked. The capacity was over, so they were already breaking laws without Great White even being on stage yet. They were already breaking fire codes. Excuse me. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? This was a 2-hour video. Holy crap. No. Once again, this channel is saying that we have no idea if these people are related to anybody on YouTube, nor do we know if this guy is related or have anything to do with Anthony Greeno. I don't think so. This guy looks like he's got tattoos all over him and all over his neck. Greeno don't have none. So this might be Anthony Greeno's problem. Is this idiot that we're looking at right here is running around causing shit. And it's happened to me before, Greeno, people that look like you. And you're getting the blame for it. Yeah. Or harassed. You're not getting blamed for it, but you're getting harassed for it because you look like the guy. So I'll stand with you on that, buddy, because I don't think you have neck tattoos. And it looks to me like this guy's got a tattoo on the side of his neck, maybe. Or is that some kind of a scarf? I can't see. I don't know. But yeah, if you ask me, he does look like Anthony Greeno. When I first opened up the case, I was, ooh, yeah. What the hell is that? Who the hell? Are you kidding me? And, this guy, I forget his name. Let's get his name one more time. His name is Mettler. His last name is Mettler.
His car. Inside, police say they found drugs, paraphernalia, and 2 cell phones. One of them allegedly failed to update his criminal record. Public court filings reveal a consistent pattern of Mettler failing to comply with the requirements of the sex offender registry. We pulled the records. He was convicted for failing to register in 2022, again in 2023, and once more in early 2025. The affidavit states that in December of 2024, the Wells County Sheriff's Office in Indiana opened an investigation because Mettler had allegedly failed to update his address, which is a crime.
All right, I want you folks to pay attention to this guy's middle name. What is it? Alan. Alan Mettler. Trey Alan Mettler is this guy's name. You know what? I don't think that's a tattoo on the side of his neck. I think he's got some kind of a jacket on, like a hoodie. Did this guy speak English? Comprende? We want to question the authorities. Did this guy speak English? And did he speak it well? Wow. All right. Are there any other? Let's see what Miss ATS News said. It's so easy to get laid. Why did she do it with a dog? That's what I'm saying. She seemed to be a beautiful woman. A beautiful woman. That looks like Greeno's gardener, Cato. Well, maybe you're right, Turner. Easy for you, ATS. I don't know, but I can tell you this much. This is freaky, folks. What are we dealing with in Delphi? Someone's name, that's Alan. And someone else that looks like this guy. This is too freaky. Come on, folks. Come on. Was it a child ring? Did this guy know Jose from the Summer Wells case? Did he know it? Any photos in that dude's phone of Summer Wells? Any Facebook, Snapchat? Do we know somebody was on Snapchat in the families? I think they all were. Everybody that was a suspect. Is that what we're looking at, government? Be honest with us. Is it a giant ring? Trying to get some questions over. You know, Uncle Ted Nugent keeps telling me to call the guy. You call your congressman. You call the mayor. I ain't calling nobody. I'm by myself. Uncle Ted, send help. They're screwing animals out here. Someone save me. No, Turner, it's not ridiculous. It's effing nuts. Good God almighty. How do we know our own congressmen or mayors or anything screwing animals? This is crazy. Miss ATS News, for all that's holy, get a hold of Joey and tell him I need some help out here. He's going to have to take a break from crab fishing for a couple days. I need some help. They've gone crazy out here. Get a hold of Miss Get a hold of Miss Criminality. Tell her I need some help out here. It's crazy. These people are screwing animals. I'm locking up my squirrels. Son of a bitches. Touch my squirrels. I'm going to be real pissed. Debbie, are you going to get some help out here? Are you, I think you should come out here and protect me. That's what you should run some security out here for me. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? It's been fine or fun or whatever. This is crazier than crazy could ever be. I think I'll be back with something half civilized. I can't deal with it no more. I'm on the edge of just madness myself. Excuse me, watching all this crazy ass cases going on. I don't know what to tell you folks. I don't know what to say. What kind of stuff? This is horrible. This is horrible for society, mankind, bestiality. The worst thing I just don't understand it. Any of you women out there, and if you're listening, I'm being honest. Turn away from anybody that's making you do this. Sit down, open up the Bible, or at least pray for God to help you and run away from this stuff. Go to the doctor, get checked out, whatever you got to do, and find yourself a good man. There is plenty of us single men that would have loved to have you before you got into this bestiality stuff. And I'm like, there's life after it. There is life after bestiality, abuse, drugs. Smoke some cannabis. I mean, you might not have done this if you're on cannabis. It's that devil's dandruff and foot powder. The devil's salt that you guys are doing. There ain't nobody who smoked a doobie, and I'm going to screw that dog. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I want to thank all you folks for being here. God bless you all. I'm under demonic attack. I got sicknesses myself. I'm dealing with this cigarette smoking, driving me crazy with it. In Jesus' name, I hope they come up with something where I just go get a shot and I never smoke a cigarette again. You know what made me quit smoking? You know what? I quit smoking for a while. I had a woman, right? She was cracking the whip and throwing down the moist love. And anybody that gets whooped on a woman, well, you listen to the woman if you're getting the moist love. I cut way back, so. But no, I don't have moist love anymore in my life, so I'm smoking like a fiend. So I'm just saying, ATS News, what? You were getting it? I had a good woman. Right? So good that she remodeled my whole effing house. And then left me. But while she was there, she was a real good woman. I'm just saying. I had a yellow bathroom, daisies and stuff all over. Whatever them dandelions or whatever. I don't know. But women make you do stupid stuff. Like take control of your house and change everything. And then years down the road, they leave you, and you're just stuck with a yellow bathroom and all kinds of women shit. Oh, good God. Well, that's what us idiots do when we're in love. But I can tell you what I've never done is slept with one of these animals. Even I got morals and integrity. Oh, good Lord. Save us all, Jesus. I'm begging. Save us all. Come fast because they're screwing all the animals. Good God Almighty. Let me see him. I missed a lot my first year as a mom of two, I guess. They're not my kids. I don't know. Did your husband send you over to try and say they're my kids? They're not my kids. You're stuck with her, man. Poor guy. But anyways, let's get back to real. Let's get back to living civilized. Living civilized there. And back to regular content. And let's just try and forget this video. Let's just try and forget this video. And these people. All right, let's just say that. Now, does anyone have any more questions? Miss Debbie Fox says, ain't nobody in the world can force me into something like this. I agree 100%, little lady. There ain't no amount of money. None. Zero. Zilch. No. No. $50 billion. No. Now, if it was one of these latex torsos, sex dolls, maybe for $50 billion. I got morals. I didn't do no bestiality shit. Sorry, I'm out. Anything to hurt people, I'm out. A man will fall asleep first before I will. I have no idea. I don't know, Miss Fox. I probably you're one of them whippersnappers, so I'll take your word for it. But you got problems if you got a torso and it falls asleep before you do. If you bought one of them sex torsos and it falls asleep on you, yeah, you got problems. Oh God. All right, I can't do this no more. I've had enough. I'm really on the brink. You know, you wake up and it's like it just can't get any worse anymore. We've seen it all, the wars and everything, Lord. There's just nothing left. Bestiality. Oh, you had to I never seen that before, Lord. I don't. After you make him a sandwich. No, I'm not. No, you behave yourself there, Paige. You're very twisted and demented. Now, I'm going to end this video. Does anybody have anything they want to say? Really, this ain't a laughing matter. Very disturbing. I wish this on no man or woman or child or dog, animal. Oh, it's sick what these people are doing. But if people don't bring to light of what kind of world we live in, then this shit will continue. And let me tell you something. How did they conquer cities and castles and societies back then? They sent in what? Diseased animals. Wiped out the whole castle, the whole place. People were screwing animals back then. They knew, how are we going to conquer this? How are we going to take over? Send in the plague, send in animals. They're screwing them. They're diseased animals. They knew the disease would spread, and boom, it did. Took down the whole castle, the king, everything. No. They poisoned water wells with diseased animals. Everyone in the whole town went to go drink from the well. Boom, they're all dead. Oh, Jesus. There's another woman, very beautiful, Lauren Mathis. This goes to show beauty can't buy you peace. No. You know, these Quaker Oat Rice Crisp things or whatever, rice patties, they taste pretty good. I think they say these are better for you than eating a bag of chips. Excuse me. Yes, I agree with you 100%, Miss Debbie Fox. It's a nightmare. It is a nightmare. I agree 100%, you beautiful little lady. Now, I am going ahead and I'm going to contribute my body to you if you ever need to, other than you ever deciding to sleep with an animal. All I ask is for you to be gentle with me. That's all I'm saying. Or any of you single women out there. That's all I'm saying. I would rather you use me than abuse a dog. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let me see what only Johnny would title his video the day after Christmas. Yeah, well, you know what, Turner? When you can get your own channel and you start making content and you got people coming into your chat, then you can tell me that I'm an idiot. How's that? How's that? Let's just check your channel real quick. Let's just check Mr. Turner because he's such a great creator. It's just unbelievable. He's big time. This guy is somebody. You understand me? This guy is somebody. I know you're saying, Johnny, that's Betafuco. I know. But this guy knows what he's talking about because he's got 2 subs. It ain't his real face. And he's got what? Nothing. No content. Nothing. He would have been better off coming to me farting in a goddamn jar. There would have been some content. Nah, there's only one thing I have to say to you, Mr. Page Turner, and that's bidet, sir. Bidet. Now, it's Buttafuoco. But it ain't the real Joey Buttafuoco. But anyways, this is what I'm saying about we got to infiltrate YouTube. We got to infiltrate this country. Possibly firebomb these diseased animal screwers all over the world. Who knows? I'm just saying I'm going to write it in my next movie. That's what's coming. Don't do anything bad, folks. We don't promote anything other than movie making here. Script writing, imaginations are all welcome here. Real life stuff, no. No, I can't say that. Not unless the government needs my help and they call. But usually they sell it. You know, they send an alien or something, a ship or something comes out. Get a damn toy, for gosh sakes. I cannot look at my animals like sex objects. Get a dang toy, for gosh sakes. Yeah, Debbie, I agree. When you start looking at your animal and it starts looking sexy to you, you need to go to the doctors, folks. Miss Debbie Fox is 100% right. You people need to go to the doctor. There ain't no amount of money, no amount of drugs. You know, if you're gonna have sex with something, have sex with a man. If you're a woman. If you're a man, have sex with a woman. Don't be sleeping with animals. We're trying to stop it. That's why they came up with blow up animals. Just like blow up women. Latex torsos. Sex torsos. Because we're trying to stop this madness. The government should issue everybody sex torsos. Sleep with a torso, not with an animal. Latex torso, sex torso, whatever them things are. No, Debbie, it's not right. You shouldn't even promote people saying, well, I mean, if they desire animals. No, you're sickos if you desire animals. Don't sleep with animals. Buy a blow-up doll or a blow-up animal. I think they have blow-up animals like sex dolls or whatever. Buy a sex doll. Blow-up sex doll or something. You people ain't right. Debbie's right. Miss Debbie Fox is right. Miss ATS News is right. Wear your mask now. I ain't wearing no mask. All it is a prop from a show. I'm under contract. I can't wear the saw mask. Only certain times of the year. It's just too much. It's too much. Debbie Fox said, could you imagine thinking that huge rooster was sexy? People look at animals, and Debbie, I'm trying to tell you, before Jesus, they were sleeping with animals. They were sleeping with animals, unprotected sex. Back then, they didn't have rubbers. It wiped out whole communities, whole kingdoms. The disease. Oh, Lord, I don't know how long I can keep trying to help this world when they don't want help. I'm an idiot anyways, Lord. I'm broken. And they're not going to listen to me. I'm an idiot. But 20,000 videos of gibberish. I don't have 20,000 videos yet. I strive to have 20,000 videos, but I think I only got like 5,000. I'm working on it. Yeah, Kel, she's talking about her rooster that she has. It died. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this thing. You folks have a great night. Thank you for everybody for stopping in. You all need some kind of psychology or psychotic help or something. God bless us all. Jesus, save these people in Jesus' name. Amen. I don't know scripture, but I know how to ask for forgiveness for these people in Jesus' name. Uh, we'll be back with another video. It's 11 o'clock. I got to make tea. I need my nighttime tea. Hey, what do you guys think? Some Xbox tonight, or maybe a fire? Music? Maybe Dr. John could help. Who's that? Doctor Who? Debbie says Rooster have spurs. That jingle, jangle, jingle. So she said, spurs, that jingle, jangle, jingle. Oh, God. All right, it was great hanging out with you folks. I'll be back later, maybe with a peaceful fire, maybe some Xbox, and who knows, maybe a fire and playing some guitar. Who knows? Take it day by day. I want to thank everyone for stopping in. Miss ATS News, Debbie Fox, even the troll, Bendejo, Paige Turner, Valdez, and all the rest of the people that came in. This is a serious situation in the United States of America. I know it's a joke to a lot of people, but scientifically and medically, it's a very serious problem. I hope they take this seriously. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumb. Make sure you check out Miss ATS News Friday night at 8 o'clock with old Gypsy Rose. There's another beautiful woman that went bad. Lord, slowly but surely, they're taking all the beautiful women from us single men and turning them into crazy people. There's another woman that probably was never loved the right way by men. But who am I to talk, Lord? I'm an idiot, broke down, busted, has been. On my way back up, Lord. I'm climbing that ladder, Lord, right to the top. Speaking life into my body, wealth. I don't want the fame. Well, you know what? I don't want the wealth. Just a small house, a couple rooms, acre of land, truck with a plow on it, maybe a dog, and a good woman. And that's it. I'm good. And some money in the bank, maybe a couple million. That's all I need to survive. I probably can survive on 1 million. I don't know. Make it 2. What the heck, 3? Just to make sure. I should be okay then, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. I pray this into reality. Miss Debbie Fox, I want you to have a good night. Miss ATS News, Kelp, Valdez, Turner, yeah, I seen Dave Levine's video today on his guitar lesson. It was a very good guitar lesson. He definitely needs to work on this horn section, I can tell you that much. He definitely does not know how to blow a horn. Other than that, I'll be back here shortly with more content. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. You've been watching the Johnny Kramer music movie extravaganza. Keep looking up at the stars. Keep dreaming. Dick Clark, no.